Okay. Quick disclaimer, this video is being filmed in early September 2021. Before October. That's what it is based off of. I'll tell you what we're talking about in a minute. We're going to talk about The Blob, okay? Now, I know there's like, what? 3 versions of that movie was made? And I have only seen, I've seen the one from 1958 maybe 4 times, 3 or 4 times. And then I've seen the one from 1988 once. And I prefer the original Blob from 1958. I know they made another version of it back in the 70s or something, or the 60s. I'm not really sure. I've never seen it. But I've seen both of them. The thing is, though, in 58, it came from space. Yes, I know The Simpsons did a version of theirs too. And it had Homer Eats Dr. Phil. I know, I've seen that one too. But I've seen both of them. The thing is, though, the one from 1988 makes you think the government brought the damn thing there. And personally, I like the original Blob better. I mean, because the first part about the Blob I liked was the opening had good music. The opening was a good song. And we'll talk about 1988 later. But both of them kind of have the same thing, okay? Now, I've seen The Blob, like I said, 3 or 4 times, original Steve Queen. And if you can't think of it, guys, The Blob, it was a good movie. I mean, when it first came out, it was pretty good. And me personally, I liked it. It was a good movie. I mean, the best part was racing in reverse, okay? In those old cars. Now, I showed my cousin that a while back. He said, "What the heck are they showing those perfectly cars for?" I told him, those cars are actually not that old. They're not. The purple one's old, but not that old. They said, "Really?" I told him, "No, they're quite new. They're not that old. They're only maybe a couple years old." "Really?" "This film was made in the 50s. I told him, "These cars are from the 50s, the cars from the 40s, right?" "Yeah." "So not destroying these cars?" "No, hell no. No." And he's seeing these guys racing in reverse, thinking, and he was surprised if you don't destroy the cars at all. The cars are all right. But both Blob movies had the same thing in common, which is surprising. Both the Blobs had the same problem. They had to stay cold. If they're cold, they wouldn't be able to hurt no one. Now, me personally, I have seen the Blob, like I said, the original and the new one. Now, the new one, I mean, the one in 1988 makes them think, okay, the one in 1988 makes you think the government sent it. Okay? Both of them have the same kind of concept in it, kind of. Both of them have the same concept. But Steve McQueen was in the... I mean, the first original one was better, though, because they tell you sulfuric acid doesn't kill it. Nothing kills it cold. Cold kills it. Now, back then, CO2 fire extinguishers were hard to come by back then. Still today. I mean, actually, you can get one now today. They're like $15. Back then, in the 1950s, a CO2 fire extinguisher cost about $50 to $100 back then. Back then, that was a lot of money. Even today, that's a lot of money. And so, yeah. But, I mean, the movie was pretty good, guys. Both films had the same concept. This blob came from outer space or something and stuff. But the last film, in 88, they had it blown up with a truck full of ice stuff. It exploded it. Besides that, it was pretty good. And when they tried frying the sucker in 1958, I thought, oh, that would be a cool idea. They shot the power line and tried frying it. It didn't work. They tried electrocuting it. It didn't work. They found out freezing it kills it. So that's pretty hard to do back then. Oh. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, I've seen both Blobs, but the 58 Blob is better. So, when this comes out, it should be around October when this film comes out. But, yeah, the original Blob from 1958 is better than 1988. But the one from 1988 was more scary because they dissolved everyone, but it showed people's faces. And I think it was the pasture that kept some of the Blob in a jar. But still, the original Blob is better than the new one. I mean, these two, both of them are pretty good though, but me personally, I would stick with the original Blob from 58. It's a good video. And if I own a movie theater, guys, now this is what I was thinking about before I recorded today. If I actually own a movie theater, every weekend, okay, if you say Thanksgiving, you say Halloween was on Wednesday, right? I would put it on. I would actually have it playing on Friday and Saturday of Halloween. If Halloween is like this year, Halloween's on a Sunday, I have this playing on the Friday and Saturday before Halloween for at my movie theater. I'd have these two playing, and since this film's very PG, it's good for kids. And I would have the original playing that whole week. I mean, those 2 days, Friday and Saturday, I have it playing. Or if Halloween's on a Saturday, I play it Friday. I mean, I play the original on Friday, and that's all I would film. I would not put the new one on there. I mean, the new one's all right, but I play the original Blob every time around Halloween. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm gonna watch this. But yeah, guys, that's what I do, guys. So yeah, guys, that's what I do, guys. I would actually have the Blob play every week. I mean, I love playing every single year the week of Halloween, okay? On Friday to Saturday. Halloween's on Friday or Saturday. Then I play, I mean, you know, I would have it playing, I'd have to start playing, I mean, I play around noon until, whenever. But like I said, I would have at least one theater play the Blob during Halloween. Thing is, the Blob Fest is actually in July, not during October, which is surprising. So yeah. So yeah. I was gonna make one, but I changed mine. But yeah, that's what I do, guys. I would make my own version. A Steve McQueen guy with a fire extinguisher in his hand. So yeah, guys. 50th Blob Fest. So this has been the 60th anniversary of Blob Fest, if it was happening this year. Which I don't think this is actually the 61st episode because it's 2021. This film I'm watching is from 2010. So yeah, I mean the original. I mean, like I said, I've seen the original Blob at least 3 to 4 times. Then I also seen the new Blob back in 1988, a few years ago. Like I said, I prefer the original better. I prefer the original. The new one makes sure that the government did it, so that's why. I mean, both of them. I mean, the new one has the same concept. Okay, the same concept as the original, but it just doesn't work out as planned. That's why I think I'd stick with 58. So if I own a projector, if I own a theater, yeah, I'd have the original Blob play on that projector. Like I said, if I could, I'd have one of my theaters play the original Blob around Halloween week. Well, what if Halloween's on Wednesday? I would still play it on Friday and Saturday in November. If I had to, I'd play it Friday and Saturday in November if I had to. But I mean, if I even own a small theater, that's what I do. Play the Blob at least once a year. 2 days out of the year. Because that's what The Simpsons did with some of their Treehouse of Horrors. They play their films in November sometimes. But if I had to, I would put the Blob on the week of Halloween. So yeah, I'd have it. If Halloween like this year's on a Saturday, like this year Halloween's on a Sunday, I would have it play on Friday and Saturday. So, and since it's PG, kids can watch it. I mean, it's all right film. I mean, it's just so weird seeing these guys race these old cars and stuff right past the police officer who's sleeping. I mean, it's a small town, we expect, but the town doctor and some other people die, so yeah. But, I mean, the one from 1985, 58 is better, okay? The one from 1988, this woman goes in a payphone, calls the sheriff, and the woman sees the sheriff's face against the phone booth as this Blob tries to kill her. So yeah. The sheriff's already dead. So me personally, I like the original better, so yeah.